Alright guys, back here with another video, and this time I want to give you guys a shout out before we do anything for smashing that like button on the recent videos. And I had a few people asking me on how to properly abuse Aegis, as I know a lot of you know that I used to abuse Aegis very much so with Icarus leader, and even with Mecha Frieza leader, and then now we have another leader to use Aegis with. I've also used Aegis with, I think it was Heredigarn a long time ago. But let's go ahead and get into what we're going to talk about today and talk about sequencing with Aegis and how to take advantage of it to its full extent with this leader and whatever leader you end up playing Aegis with, because your leader doesn't just has to be a Zamasu or a Goku Black for you to use some of these cards. So that does open up other leaders that are also Zamasu and also Goku Black, which is cool. Now, this one's interesting because it has ways to abuse this card specifically. Now, because your leader needs to be a yellow Shinron, Zamasu or yellow Shinron, Goku Black. So, this is only specific for this one. So, we'll talk about how to use this one specifically. And if you want to tutor, set up this type of engine, you will be it'll be a little harder without this deck. But we'll talk about it now. So, your main way to do this is with these cards. And these are the cards that you need to actually do the Aegis. And to make it easier on you as a leader that's also Masu, is you want to start with this card in your opening hand, and you want to grab this on your turn 2 or 1, whenever, you know, if you have it in your opening hand, that's fine too. But we'll talk about it in a second. So we're going to start with charging this turn 1, disregard not having life set up. This goes into active mode turn 1. So, upon playing this, you will, if you have this in your hand already, you can activate this, sending Zamasu to the warp, drawing 2 random cards, okay? And disregard whatever 2 cards you get, because it really doesn't matter. Next turn, you take a damage. Turn goes around to you, and now you have to charge a random yellow card. Let's just say you charge one of these. It doesn't matter what your yellow card is charged. Or it could be a blue-yellow card. Could be anything. So just whatever you charge doesn't matter as long as it's blue or yellow. Now that you are attacking, you can grab yourself another copy of this card. Activate it, pitching this to the warp if you want, or whatever may be. And draw 2. On their turn, you're going to want to be able to get this card in your hand somehow, so maybe on turn 1 you added it back to your hand. All you have to do is combo with both of these. Tap 2, activate battle, bring him into play. And then you can send these both to the warp by his effect and draw a card, which is really cool. Now all you need to do is activate Aegis by pitching a blue-yellow card, or a blue and a yellow card. So you can have this and this. But see, this is the hefty cost of it, because you're just resetting 2 energy by getting rid of 2 cards in your hand, but you get to rest one of your opponent's energy or battle cards by doing so. But the cool part about it is that you can just pitch a blue-yellow card in your hand, like an extra copy of this, to do so. So we'll pitch this and reset 2 energy. But this is not usually necessary on turn 1, and you want to use it whenever it is really necessary. So if it's turn 1 or turn 2, after you display, you probably don't need to do it. Come around to your next turn, you charge another card. It doesn't matter what it is. It's charge a extra copy of, it's a Zamasu counterplay. Cool. So now you make your plays, and at this point we have 5 energy on our opponent's turn without even considering being resetting your opponent's turn, power of a Super Saiyan, hitting something, and now let's just say we go to this, and we'll tap 2 blue, do our awaken plays or whatever. Maybe it's your opponent's turn now. You reset 1 energy at the end of your opponent's turn. On their turn now, you have still 4 energy to play with, because this is going to reset 2, and this is going to play with 2. So now on their turn, activate battle. Since we have 2 battle cards on their board, activate battle. Tap 2. Since you have 2 battle cards on board that are blue and yellow, play him. Rest your opponent's thing, but it's usually energy. Activate this, pitching the extra copy of the monster, and then you're gonna resend the blue-yellow. Now, here's where you make your decision, because since you did this, you can now activate multiple cards. You can activate Bergamo, risk 2 more energy. This guy's once per, he has a limit 1, so you can't use him more than once on the auto, but you can play another one if you wanted to. But you're going to usually Bergamo. You can power of a Super Saiyan. Again, you can activate this by tapping 1 yellow and then activating Bean. Resand another energy. Or you can do vice versa, so it depends on the situation at hand. But this is basically against aggro where you really need to be particular about doing, like, saving this power card so that you can do the clapback and kill them. Or you can just set up the 2 energy, have open counterplay, or counterplay 2 for this guy. So if you feel like you can save this, and or you have something that your opponent has deflect, you play this, and then it gets around deflect. So keep that in mind. If it has deflect, this is an activate on play, so it's going to be after it's already been successfully played. Rest the card and draw a card. And if this doesn't have deflect, you can do this and save an energy. You have access to Vegeta Final Flash, and you can also just leave up energy to play your counterattacks. So you just need to take in consideration what your opponent's doing, and make sure you can establish 2 blue or blue-yellow battle cards. You need to have access to Goku Black in your warp, so make sure you send this guy back to the warp with your Zamasu combo effect after you arrive with this guy into play. Even if you're taking the damage, that's fine. You just need to make sure that you can keep your life high enough to where you can play efficiently. So 4 life, stabilize, and then continue from there. But basically, that's how you use the Aegis. Now, eventually, you'll get to the point where the boss will become more necessary. We'll charge another one of these. You actually have the boss in your hand, and he has Aegis as well, except for he's a little more broken because he does the same thing but draws a card like Bojack, but he costs a lot more. So the other one costs 2, so it's a lot easier to set up, and Aegis is usually not that powerful if you require you to pay more than 2 energy for it. So 1 energy for Aegis was broken with Bojack, and it drew your card every time. But this one, you evolve on top, indestructible, double strike, blocker. So it's a threat, and whenever you activate Aegis, you get to rest one of your opponent's battle cards. And so rest one of your opponent's cards, switch the card to active mode so it can block, and then you get to restand 2 energy and draw a card. Really good, and just need to make sure that you're not wasting all of your blue-yellow cards so that you can actually activate your Aegis, because you can run into situations where you do not have a blue-yellow card or a blue card for you to pitch. And you don't want to pitch this unless it's last resort, which is why it's in there. You want to pitch your extra copies of him, like this card itself or this card itself, whenever you're in a position where you already have one established. But you can play both of these. So you can have activate this, then activate this to activate battle, whenever you have that on board, when you have these, and then you get to pitch another blue-yellow and restand them. It's probably not that common for you to do it, but the indestructible blockers and extra Aegis for turns and turns is really strong. So if you guys like this kind of video, please make sure to smash the like button and leave comments below if you want to see what you want to see next. We're gonna post this one soon, most likely within the next day, and that one's pretty hype, and I'm looking forward to playing it in tournament. Stay tuned for local streams. We're gonna post those on YouTube, and make sure you're signed up for the Discord. You're in the Discord. I'm gonna have to update that in the upcoming video link because it is kind of annoying. So if you're on the AFG Facebook page and the AFG Discord and the case tournament, it's going to have all the details in the Discord, and you also can use that link for the Facebook event page. If you don't have it, please reach out to me, and I will be able to assist you. I also have airfairgaming@gmail.com that you can reach out to me as well there if you guys want to have any questions answered if you don't have Facebook. See you guys in the next video. Deuces.